me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. You wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me, put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grid 6 feet like Kenny.
You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Radenero, and we are back at it again for another episode of Future Financial Strategies up here in our micro studio corner, and back at it again. I'm pretty sure I got at least one. It's been hit or miss because I have sustained an injury. I ruptured my Achilles, completely tore it apart, had to get it stitched back together. Went through some surgery, was stuck on the couch for a couple of weeks, so there was no recording as I was stuck in a prone position with my leg elevated. I just recently got released to get myself back into my desk. And, you know, I got a little setup up here so I can get my foot propped up so that way I can keep it semi-elevated, but it gives me time to actually sit here and it's not completely horribly uncomfortable. But yeah, so we're getting back to it. We've got a lot of updates. First and foremost, obviously, we did not get at the beginning, first episode of the month, like I like to have it, the financial roundup and the financial breakdown for April. So we're going to jump right into it. We get the metrics that matter, the ones that are key into the lexicon of how we're navigating here. So first and foremost, the net worth. We always start with the net worth. Now, the net worth has been going up steadily, and we've been talking our talk, but we got to call it what it is. The net worth, we are currently down $11,447. Now, this has changed a little bit because obviously these numbers were taken at the end of the month, and we're a few weeks into May. Prices on stuff has changed. The portfolio has changed around a little bit, both the traditional and the crypto portfolio, which are clearly tied together. But since we're so tied into crypto, since we're so far in the future with our financial strategies, our net worth does fluctuate. Now, fortunately, we're not having to eat off of that, hoping it stays that way. But fortunately, we are not having to eat off that. So that scenario and those positions are left to grow so that they can do their thing. I do have a narrative that I am running both with all of my portfolios, and I am following that narrative to a T. And, you know, we're gonna see how it goes. Next order of business, we've got how much. What was our savings percent? Because I told you I've been looking at the savings percent because everybody in the FIRE movement and all these retire early movements, people, all the gurus talk about, 20, 30. Well, Last month, we hit 53.73% in our savings. How do we do that? Obviously, we reinvest everything that comes out. So the dividend payouts, the crypto passives, those payouts. We are, I need to put that up there too. Those payouts, we are regularly reinvesting those back in to continue to grow those positions. We're currently working on building out our brokerage account, our portfolio there. So that way we can do the same thing and replicate the same thing that we've done in the crypto space, except for the portfolio that I'm building out and my brokerage account is very strategic. We will be doing a breakdown on that on our newly formulated show that now we have something to talk about, which is portfolio updates, which will be tracking the growth and how I build out and my methodology about my brokerage account. We're gonna divine the tea leaves. I mean, there's not going to be too many tea leaves to divine. It's just going to be me building out what will hopefully turn into the seed foundation of a massive amount of wealth. Obviously, I've got my narratives on that as well. And we're gonna be doing that just like what we did with the crypto portfolio, except for you'll be seeing me real time actively contributing to that, and we'll be talking about that. But all the dividends coming in, so when you take all the income that I got and then extrapolate that back into what was actually reinvested at the time of investment, that's what we did. Credit score. Now, when it comes to the credit score, the credit score, now I don't believe credit score matters, but keeping the score at a stable rate just means you're not utilizing your credit. And I utilize my credit, so it changes. So it is down at 3 points at the time of recording the numbers, which put us at 807. It's going to be lower than that the next time, and we will be talking about the play that we made as a result of it was about time. We're about due, but as a result of the injury. The total amount saved was $2,360. Which is nice. It's good solid amount. We did some things with that. There's going to be a couple of things that we're gonna note moving forward. The future financial strategies show we're going to obviously keep this. These videos are going to be shorter because I have a couple of things that I can branch out of this now that I've got some stuff going on in my traditional brokerage account. And so we're going to have crypto portfolio updates. We're going to have a portfolio update that's going to focus on my traditional finance plays. And then future financial strategies is going to be kind of an update on what's going to be relevant weekly. The portfolio updates are probably going to be a monthly deal because I don't have a ton of positions and there's not really much I'm not doing it the way a lot of these guys on YouTube are doing it. I'm actually trying to do this from an authentic space. So I don't have like 10 or 15 positions to talk about. I have no intention of going over 5 positions. There's going to be a core 3 that we're going to be looking at as we build up reinvesting those dividends manually. I do not use the drip method. I like to manually reinvest, but we'll be able to go down some rabbit holes on that. But I think that's going to be a monthly episode, most likely for that chain until there's more in there, because first of all, the dividends come in at the end of the month. So that'll give me time to redistribute, talk about the plays that I made, talked about how the dollar cost average worked, and, kind of give the context, and you guys can come along with me on my journey back into the traditional finance space as I crush your favorite gurus. Because I think my narrative's going to play out at least for the next 2 years. And I think that the windfall that's going to give an opportunity is going to fund the other positions, which should sustain beyond the reliant on my narrative that within this window of time. I think long term, over the long term, the narrative is still going to play out. But initially, since we're in this specific era in regards to Bitcoin, we're going to capitalize on that all over the place. So that's what we're doing there. Yeah. So the play that we made post this injury, and it was time to do it. We repaid the initial test loan of $5,000, converting our credit card balance into cash with which we purchased assets. Now, I understand a lot of people would consider this gambling. I do not consider it gambling because I'm not planning on getting rich tomorrow. It is simply wealth expansion. And the reason we do this play, let's talk about that. First of all, it's the cheapest money you can possibly get as long as you pay it off within the window. How so? Well, cash advances, at least for me, because I have good credit, again, credit matters, are 0%. 0%, you say, but there's no such thing as free money, Reckless Ray. You're absolutely correct. The charge on it is, for me, because I have good credit, so they have to entice me to spend money because it's generally money I don't need. Is 4.5% as a balance transfer fee. So 4.5% on whatever I trade over. In the instance of the $5,000 deal, the 4.5% totaled out. So it's $5,000. We paid it off early times 0.045, $225. And I have made well over that. As we remember, that was the start of the opportunity fund for this year, which unfortunately / fortunately will be going towards potentially servicing some of the expenses of my surgery and medical expenses. But, you know, it's better to be inconvenienced when you have the money than to be inconvenienced and need the money, because that way I don't have to touch anything that I have set at present. Or if I do, it's minimal, where things can keep rolling the way that they have been. We're going to try and not utilize any of that. I would prefer to pay back with dollars, but we'll see how that goes. But we went ahead and continued, and I know that people are going to think this is absolutely insane. We went ahead and re-upped on that loan, and I switched over to my Discover card, and went ahead and did another loan, and this one was for $8,000. So we're going to push ourselves a little bit. And I believe within the amount of my allotment from the opportunity fund plus the income that we purchased, because we are using debt to buy cash flow, between those two things, we'll be able to keep it afloat, because no matter what happens, we have a bare minimum that we have to abide by. And that $400 for the opportunity fund is on my list of expenses. So as we're getting ready to cut back to the quick, we've had a lot of downtime. I'm getting ready to get back into the office a little bit, but it's not going to be in the capacity that it was. Obviously, I'm on light duty. My job is half blue collar, so there's a whole half of my job that I cannot do right now. But as we're making the adjustments and seeing things through, where there's a will, there's a way, and it's just regardless of where I end up or how I decide to move forward, that $400 is going to be on my list of expenses no matter what. So there's that. We will be going over how those that $8,000 got distributed specifically as soon as we. Well, actually, you know what? We can talk about it right now. I've got the keep note. And so we'll go ahead and do that on this episode, because the breakdown of exactly what we're doing and the initial onset of my my video for portfolio updates will be heavily to do with this cash advance, because as I stated the last time we did it, we're going based on opportunity cost, which means that the dollars today that you spend right now are worth more than the dollars that you spend a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 4 months from now, 5 months from now. Now, since I give myself, I have a year to pay these loans back. I'm trying to give myself 10 months for the cycle, since this one is pushing it a little bit. It depends, because the plays that I'm in, if they don't pay out the way that they need to, then it could be problematic, in the sense that you're paying slower. But that will be gone over in the portfolio video. So definitely tap in to that deal. So what we're doing is, oh, actually, I was pulling that up for you. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Let's go back. Get in here. Now, how do we break down this loan? Because that loan was for $8,400 with the, and I think it was like maybe 5% for the transfer fee, if not 4.5%. But let's look here. So how do we break that down? So we've got $1,000 that we are down, or dollar cost averaging into our crypto portfolio. We have $1,350 that are going towards options and access on options. I've got a couple of different people that I'm tapped in with on that, but I bought access into somebody who trades in a fashion that I like to trade, which is slow moving. I'm not a day trader, but long-term options I can mess with, because then you can just come in and check them, see how you're doing, make the adjustments, and keep it moving. So there's that. That is something that I am excited about, because we are looking at creating an additional income stream. I am looking to create 2 to 3 additional income streams, and we're going to do breakdown and reviews on specifically what we're doing with our options play over in the portfolio updates, because we're gonna be doing a review on a place that I'm at. Those plays are going to be coming in slow. So the options plays will be coming in slow, because I don't want to discredit the access that I'm given. So we're going to be a little bit into those plays before we even bring them to the light of day. And then $5,550 went into the income portfolio, which is being dollar cost averaged into positions over there. We're almost at the seed position for the initial onset of the first spot. And then we've also started dollar cost averaging in on the second spot as well. I am excited about it. I am happy about it. I am excited to see this income coming in. Going to be interesting. I'm really kind of feeling myself on this. It's like when stuff starts coming together and stuff starts rolling, then it becomes a survival mode thing for me now that I've got this injury. And the game that I'm playing right now is protect the portfolio. And I think that's going to just about round us up. Let's see here, because there's one thing that we are keeping on here, which is we're going to do 3 things you should know at the end of every episode that are affecting the markets right now. Now, number 1, good Lord, almost forgot my favorite part. The 3 things are always good. They're always interesting. So 3 things that are going on that are trending in the market right now that people are talking about that you should know. Number 1 is inflation, the great giant elephant that is on all of our backs. Our government keeps sending money to people that aren't Americans, and then we all get to pay for it via inflation. Inflation remains a significant concern as it directly impacts the cost of living by increasing the prices of goods and services. This persistent issue affects personal budgets, making it crucial for individuals to understand how to manage their finances in an inflationary environment. Strategies to mitigate the impact of inflation include adjusting spending habits. That is something that definitely we should all be looking at. We should be making the adjustments. Like me personally, Aldi and Costco are my best friends right now. Costco, a little bit on the pricey side, but getting in bulk, normally you pay less. Aldi, they're talking about lowering prices this summer, and the food there's good. Honestly, Aldi has the best oatmeal that I've ever had. When I was an oatmeal eater, Aldi oatmeal was my favorite. Investing in inflation-protected assets. Being in assets, period, because in an inflationary environment, the price of everything goes up and assets skyrocket. You notice right now, while we're struggling to get our meals, the people who own the companies that we're buying our meals from, are recording record profits. You want to be on the ownership side of that. A lot of you are on the wrong side of this bet. I am trying to get as many of us as possible over here in Future Financial Strategies. We are running away from the plantation, trying to get on the right side of this trade. And last but not least, planning for higher cost in essential areas like groceries, utilities, and you can add fuel for your vehicle to that because that is also very expensive. It gets expensive very fast. I live in a city where it kind of goes up slow, so expensive for me is very inexpensive for most of you, but I digress. You gotta get on the other side of this trade. And if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's even harder to live paycheck to paycheck now. Like everything is more difficult. They're making it more. We went from hard into nightmare mode. Now on to number 2. The number 2 trending topic in the ethosphere right now is interest rates. Interest rates. That's right, interest rates. And I'm kind of on both sides of the fence on this one, but let's see what the breakdown says. Interest rates have been a hot topic due to their fluctuations influenced by monetary policies. Again, sending our money away makes everything more expensive, makes the money worth less, so the prices go up. The changes in interest rate affect both the savers and borrowers differently. We'll start off with the savers. For savers, higher interest rates can mean better return on savings accounts, and fixed income investments. So those are your things that give you a steady monthly payout. Your bank accounts, all the interest rates have gone up. And if your interest rate hasn't gone up, if you're not above 4.5% right now, your money should be somewhere else. They are robbing you. And there are places out there that are not giving good interest. You need to check. For borrowers, it translates into the higher cost of loans and mortgages. There is no more cheap money. And it's not necessarily that it's cheap money. It was cheap and borderline free money. I still am an advocate and a believer that the interest rates where they are currently, we are sitting at a state where we are having normal interest rates. You have to pay something for the money you're borrowing. The one caveat to this is as the interest rates rose, the property values also rose, which isn't normally the way that works. Normally interest rates go up, property values go down. Caveat being, we went from free to borderline free money to you have to pay something for it. So, me personally, I'm looking at sub 6, around 6. I'm more likely to and inclined to, how do I want to put this? More likely and inclined to see mortgages, like see houses selling. Like, I mean, they're still selling like hotcakes, but to who is the question? But I think but sub 6%, I can understand. We can complain, we can speculate. 7% sucks, 8% sucks also, but these are normal rates. Like they're normal. They keep telling you they're abnormal and nobody can have anything. But when you go from free to having to pay something, it's a different ballgame. So you're gonna have to, like I always say, we're gonna have to make informed decisions. We're gonna have to be on our square, following our narratives. Like I don't know that I mean, with the rates where they are, I wasn't looking to buy anyway. So this injury and potentially having to dip into some of the opportunity fund to pay back some of these debts for this surgery, I'm fine with. But if I can also pay it back out of my dividend portfolio, I'm going to do that first. Market volatility is the third and final thing that is trending that you should know about today. Market volatility. The stock market has experienced significant volatility. And I tell you, I've seen it. Me being in crypto and my portfolio being heavily tied to crypto, at least right now, boy, howdy, are we having some volatility. It is insane. I'm seeing numbers go up, numbers go down, numbers move sideways, but we're going sideways up a little bit. We're kind of in this weird channel between like 55 and 64. And a lot of it is hanging out between 60 and 64. And with that said, it seems like the wider and broader market on the traditional finance side is also highly volatile, which is good. It means there's a lot of money being made because on down days, There's money being made. There's puts. On the up days, you've got calls. There's income being generated. And that's really what it goes to. But those of you who are long, if you're long positions, there's opportunities to buy that are better. And then there's other opportunities to buy. And like if you're looking at the long run, you're looking at 10 years down the road. 10 years down the road shouldn't affect your decision right now, because the volatility right now means nothing to 10 years down the road unless you don't believe that 10 years down the road, the assets that you're investing with aren't going to be astronomically higher than what they are now, or at least higher than what they are now, in which case you should be investing in different assets. But the stock market has experienced significant volatility, which has been a point of concern for investors. Market volatility can affect investment portfolios and retirement savings. You're darn right it can, making it crucial for individuals to understand how to navigate these fluctuations. Strategies to handle market volatility includes diversifying investments, maintaining long-term perspective, and consulting with financial advisors to make informed decisions. I agree with all of those except for the last point, because financial advisors will be getting weeded out because you could have just bought Bitcoin. I'm just saying. They've been wrong for 15 years. They're probably going to be wrong for another 15 years. But again, moving with intention, planning for the environment that you're in. We cannot make decisions based on what we wish to be. We have to make them on what they are, because math does not care about how you feel. And I think that's going to call it for today. Till next week, this has been another episode of Future Financial Strategies. Thank you for tapping in with your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero. If you liked the video, definitely hit the like down below. Check those links down below. I have cleaned up that mess that was the video descriptions and added a ton of value down there for you guys. A lot of the tools that I use, got some credit card stuff down there, all sorts of great things. Till next time, it's your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are out. Peace.